I got locked away and we lost it all today. Tell me honestly, would you still love me the same if I showed you my flaws? If I could.
Welcome to ITW, the show that's going to help you enhance instruction through innovation. Aubrey and David here with our second episode for our series on videos in the classroom. Last week we talked about teachers using videos in the classroom. Today we're focusing on students. How can students use videos in the classroom? There's lots of different ways. We have all kinds of devices in our schools, so we wanted to give you guys some examples. So make sure you stay tuned for this edition of ITW. All right, so there's a lot of different ways where students can use video in the classroom, and it has a lot of value too. But we want to give you guys, just start off with 5 good reasons why students might want to use videos in the classroom. So we have our top 5, and we're going to start at number 5 with telling a story. It gives the students, instead of writing stories out, it gives them an alternative way where they can tell the story either verbally on camera, or they can create the story for themselves on camera.
Exactly. Number 4, be creative. It is a great way for your students to show that creative side.
Right.
Get those creative juices flowing, and if they're not creative, you can kind of get them started in that.
Right. Number 3, it encourages collaboration. Students are all the time, they're so used to using their cameras and their phones for recording it, for social media, things like that. Now they can do this here in school, and they can do it together. They can work on editing. It fosters the working together aspect, and it's something that our students need to learn.
You're right. Number 2, thinking and reflection. It really allows our students to dive into that next level of thinking. Reflect on what they've done. Maybe things didn't go correctly. Why didn't they go correctly? So it's really a great way to focus on that thinking and reflection.
Right, and number one reason we have is mastery demonstration. It gives the students the opportunity to explain their understanding in an alternative way. Instead of a student having to sit or write out all of their thinking and all of their work, they can send you a link with their whole thought process. And just think about, if you were a student, how much easier that would be, how much more fun, how different that would be for you. So these are just a couple of our top 5 reasons why students should use videos in the classroom. All right, so here are some best practices that Dave and I have come up with that you might be able to implement into your classroom for students using videos. So the first one is a more authentic assessment. So this is just a great way for students to be able to explain their thought process, explain that they're learning. Imagine if you are a music teacher being able to record your students playing. Imagine if you are a science teacher and now you're getting recordings of your students going through their science lab, explaining their observations, explaining their hypothesis, explaining their conclusions. You're being able to see all of that video evidence, all those conclusions that students have come up with. It can be just a very different way for students to be able to do that. So that's just one example of using videos in the classroom.
The second way is called common craft style, or I've heard of it called paper slides. And it's very simple. It's all you would have your students do is you can record it from a camera. A lot of different ways. They can record using their phone, but they would either take pictures or images they've drawn if they want to be a little more creative, and they can just move them around underneath the camera. And a great example with that would be to explain some sort of complex thought very simply, and the way I've seen it been done is through how we elect a president, which can be a really tough process.
Yeah.
That a whole electoral college can be extremely tough for our students, but explaining that through this common craft style is a great way to do it.
Another great option for using videos in the classroom is using different kind of animated type of software or programs that will allow you to create these videos but done in a more cartoon animated style. So there's plenty of options out there. We've done Affluence and some of these before. There's things like Powtoons that are out there. The very first ITW that we had Boki and Telegami, and all these are great tools for letting students explain a concept, but just in a little bit more fun way, maybe tell a story. You can go through YouTube and you see a ton of videos that are made with some of these animated options. So this is just another tool that you can use to kind of explore videos in the classroom.
The fourth one is called Create Your Own Adventure, CYOA. And this is a really, really creative way for students to use videos in the classroom. what you would do is, just like those alternate ending books that you used to read when you were younger, the students would create a video, and at the very end of the video they'd have an annotation link where the user could click on a different annotation that would take them to another adventure. So they would actually be able to pick their adventure. So then when they would click on an annotation, it would take them to another video. At the end of that video, they'd have more links. And you can have as many annotations or links as you would want. But the person watching the video would basically, as it's called, create their own adventure, right? They'd actually click on videos that would, break them into whatever they wanted to watch.
But each one is created by the students.
Yes, everyone, yeah. So each one's created by the students, so whoever they share that with, they would click on the different annotation and it would guide them in a different way.
All right. Another good episode, ITW videos in the classroom. As always, make sure you guys part two, part two of the series. I think we might try this series things again. I kind of like the flow of this. Don't forget to check out our Innovative Teacher of the Month. We're continuing to take nominees, but as of today, we do have a winner.
We have a winner.
We want to recognize Suzanne Blazing. I hope I'm saying your name right. I apologize if I'm not. But she's a teacher at Providence Springs. She's doing so much there. Lynn Keith, a tech facilitator at that school, nominated Suzanne, and she's doing so much at that school. She is leading staff training. She's a part of the Media and Technology Committee. She is leading the way with the one-to-one
fifth grade.
In fifth grade. I could go on and on. Lynn put so much stuff in there. Thank you, Suzanne, for what you're doing. You're such a deserving winner of this. And again, Lynn, thank you for nominating her and bringing her to our attention. Also, don't forget to check out our CLM blog. This week we're talking about kind of extended conversation on students' use of video in the classroom. This week I'm going to be giving you guys some examples of how you can use videos in classroom, and I'm going to be breaking it down by content areas. So I have a math one, English, so on and so forth. So make sure you guys check those out.
Once again, guys, check us out on Twitter. Our handle is @CMS of the Core. You can also shoot one of us an email at our CMS Learns email address. Thanks again for tuning in. Make sure you guys check us out next week for another edition of ITW.